Okay, so I'm currently sitting here creating a bunch of patterns for the jersey and the shorts. And I wanted to show you the idea behind the system that I will be creating this week, the customization menu and everything. There's going to be two different kind of patterns, or let's call them pattern slots, right? So it's 1 and 2, and obviously the shorts are not going to be tied in with the jersey like this. They're going to be able to be individually customized. But once I've made 20 or so patterns, which is what I'm gonna do now, you're gonna have a lot of different possibilities for basically combining patterns and coming up with your own unique look of your team. And what I mentioned in the previous devlog is that you're gonna be able to, during the alpha version, you can take a screenshot, send me whatever you created, whatever you came up with, the colors and the patterns and everything, even the players, the name of the player, the name of the team, the accessories, everything that I'll be making today. You'll be able to take a screenshot, send that to me, and we're gonna take all those suggestions and we're gonna look at them and see. Maybe we'll have to vote about it, but in the end, those creations are gonna go into the game, and we're gonna have a kind of like a community-made content driven game. That's the entire point of this alpha version. So yeah, I'm gonna create about 20 or so patterns for the jersey and the shorts now. Then I'll move on to the other aspects of the player customization. So let's get going. So I made 25 patterns for the jersey and 25 patterns for the shorts. By the way, if you're wondering why they're colored this way, that's because I'm using a slightly yellow color for the highlights and a purple color for the shadows. And once we go ahead and tint all the items in the game, then they'll retain some of this subtle lighting effect, or at least that's what I hope happens. Now, the shoes were supposed to be done in the same way, but instead I'm thinking that I'm gonna create different shoes that are all predetermined with their colors and their size and the shapes and everything. So that's what I'll do now. With all of that done, this is how it looks. Oh, and never mind the ball trail, it's horrible. I was just experimenting a bit before. Actually, let me fix it real quick. Things are going great. Anyway, here's a few more examples of some randomized characters. I think they look decent. Certain patterns don't match well with others, but I think that's inevitable. Nevertheless, I will surely revisit these patterns as well as add more hairstyles in the future. Alright, so as promised, I will end this devlog with a quick Q&A. So first question, what's a day like in my life? Obviously it depends on the day, but I would say that a normal day is pretty boring. If everything goes good, then I'll wake up early in the morning, I'll go to the gym or anyway do some form of exercise, and then I'll basically work for about 4-5 hours until lunch, and then I'll have lunch, and then after that I'll work for another 4 or 5 hours, and I'll have dinner, and after dinner I'll work for another 2 or 3 hours, and then I'll go to sleep. And every day I'll basically repeat the same thing. Of course I go and do the normal boring stuff that every person does. Hopefully now that I live close to a forest, I'll have some time to get outside and do stuff, you know. So what was the inspiration for Gladihoppers and Bouncy basketball? For Gladihoppers, there really wasn't any inspiration. I was just trying to make a gladiator game melee physics fighting game that was based on kind of the same style that I did Bouncy Basketball in. But Bouncy Basketball is pretty much a clone or a basketball version of a game called Soccer Physics. It's a great game, and I don't think it's available on mobile anymore. But it was a great game, and that game spawned a lot of clones and inspired a lot of game developers. Before becoming a game developer, was there any other job that I was interested in? Yes, I was actually going to become a 3D animator. I prepared my portfolio and everything, and I was ready to enroll in an animation course online, one of those run by ex-employees of Pixar. Not that I was qualified or anything, but I would have at least tried to apply for those courses. Do you have any regrets for any of your games? I wouldn't really say that I have any regrets, because of course I've made mistakes and stuff, but I guess that's part of the learning experience. The only thing I would say is if I could go back, I would probably not make Jumpy Canyon, which was a game that was supposed to be a hyper casual game, but it's something that has never appealed to me, and I don't like playing those games. In fact, for me personally, if I don't like playing a game, then it's very hard to develop a game of a similar kind. So I guess I would say that I would avoid creating that game if I could go back. As for the question about money, I think I'm gonna make a separate video on that topic, so stay tuned. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, and see you next time. Bye bye.